everyone, I have a new battle report for you. Practice game against one of my teammates from Team Switzerland, playing Saurian Ancient. The list I'm playing, it's one of the iterations that you might have already seen, but more or less what you used to from my ID battle reports since a couple of months. My opponent was playing following list. He has a Master of Druidism, then he has a Cowboy, he has a 4 scoring unit in total, 2 block of Warriors, 1 unit of Skink, 1 unit of Cayman Elder, then he has 2 shooting units, the Tyro with Magnetic Great Bow and the Weapon Beast Spearback. He has 2 Raptor Pack that can act as chaff and are really annoying with the Corrosive Splitter. I think it's really strong. Those breast weapon with automatic hits equal number of model and unit, considering the fact that you can put 15 of them potentially. So you like automatically just touching with one model and it's 10 in this case, or 15 hits, strength 3 automatic. I think it's quite strong for the price that you pay. It's really cheap. And then he had the Titanopod as a BSB. We were playing Breaking Flag with Frontline Clash, and below you have our spell selection. Matchup analysis, so it's probably going to be standoff. That was at least my lecture of the matchup. The Titanopod might be hard to manage for me without any gigantic model in the army. My Overlord is the single piece, mobile piece that I have in this matchup, meaning to stop his breakthrough if we are on opposite side of the map. I have more big unit than him, so more big infantry unit than him. So I need to play on that threat density on one part of the map to make hard for him to engage. No particular interest in starting, and with range damage I'm going to try to reduce the number in the blocks to make possibly a push in the second part of the game. Deployment wise, went as expected. A Wanderer for side, he gave me the first drop, so I started with a light carve, he started with some Raptors, then I put something else, he put some more Raptors, and at some point I dropped the first turn because I couldn't hide anymore the key stuff and it still had a lot of drops. So I placed Overlord on the left, a Fast Cav, Blunder, Bastion, the Lugars, the Vassal Levies, and the Incarnate with Ghost Step in the ring. He answers with the first block of Tegu with the Cowboy, then he has Tyroscutus, the Spearback, Titanopod in the back, the Archmage within the second infantry block, Skinks, a Cayman Elder, and yeah, the 2 Raptors on the sides. My turn 1, so yeah, I push forward, obviously. I push sideways with the Overlord to try to be annoying and slow him down. Basically, that's going to be my plan in this matchup. Slow down those smaller units, try to threaten them, at the same time secure my breakthrough with Lugars, Vassals, and Anointed. I think that's going to be it. And grabbing point from distance might be hard for both of us because not many things are easy to take from range, and he can heal. I'm quite resilient from range, so it's not going to be that easy. Magic phase, I get Mark for Doom True with 3 dice against 5, which was surprising, and I managed to do 2 wounds on the Tyroscutus, and then I get a breast weapon which did 3 wounds on the Saurus. His turn 1, he pushed slightly forward, a bit like me, moves away with some unit on the left. In the magic phase, I dispel a heal. He had only 6 dice, and then he failed the big heal, or 5 dice I think. And then shooting phase, I kill 3 warriors here. My turn 2, I see an opportunity here that my opponent missed. It's the fact that I have a line of sight on this unit, so I can charge them in the flank on 8, which I'm going to get. So quite nice, because this gives me a huge advantage on the right flank. The Overlord moved to the flank, and the rest start to move a bit sideways to, yeah, like I said, play a smaller part of the map, secure the breakthrough, take some points. That's going to be the plan. In Magic Phase, get a huge breast weapon with 7 warrior dead, and also a good Grave Call that kill another 5. So I killed 12 this turn, which is huge. Close combat, I break him, but I failed the restraint check on the 7. I was too far away from leadership. So failed the restraint check, which is annoying. Then I'm going to pursue him off the board, so I'm going to lose a turn. So at least that's that for my opponent. His turn 2, pushes forward with some scoring, get the shooting unit to shoot at the Overlord and try to trap me. Those guys move a bit out of the way. As you can see, not so many Saurus left. And yeah, he continued to form a compact battle line. In the magic phase, I dispelled the small heal because he has still like 4 dice against 5 for the big heal. So I wanted to be sure that I dispel 1, so he get the big heal, heal the Tyroscutus, and heal as well the Saurus. Shooting, he killed this time 5 Infernal Warriors, so quite good. And yeah, I think that was it. My turn 3. I elected to charge on the Skinks. I I know that he has an attribute, but the only counter charge that he has is this unit. I was feeling no other counter charge, so I could potentially break that and take some points. If I break him first turn, which would be very lucky because he has an attribute of divination, so it's like double minimize. But if I do, that would be obviously huge with those guys behind and no counter charge. So I wanted to try out. Those guys came back on the map, those guys came forward, and those guys prepare for the breakthrough. And I start to move, I continue to move sideways to get the Lugars closer to his deployment zone. In the magic phase, I got the breast weapon, killed 2 warriors, so this time not so threatening. Got Rot Within also, which is important for the potential upcoming combats. And I killed one with the attribute with the blaze. And that was it. Close combat. Yeah, he was steadfast. He passed the fear check, and he reformed, also passed the reform check. His turn 3, as you can see, has 10 skinks left. He elected not to charge me, and he moved those guys back to prepare counter charge, and those guys as well. So he has 2 counter charge prepared. So I know that I have this turn and the upcoming turn to break those guys. After that, it might be complicated for me. Here he continued to stay and look at me and not allow me to move out of arc. In the magic phase, I'm adding Scroll Stone Skin because I felt that's the main risk here. But here we see the strength of his magic phase. Is able to get 2 heal. I dispel Hereditary to make sure that I do some damage. And he get 2 heals, so he put 8 skinks back, and I'm going to be stuck again. Shooting, he kill another 2 warriors, and he passes the steadfast check. I reform to face him. My turn 4. Yeah, still stuck here. As you can see, he has still 13 of them alive, so I would need to kill too much, so he's going to be steadfast again. But he has an attribute of divination. This time is under fear, so it's 7 minimize with a reroll. If he breaks, obviously huge, but we will see. Last turn he didn't. Yeah, move bit forward, move sideways, and so on. In the magic phase, got a breast weapon, kill only 1 warrior, so it's not so crazy as before. He passes steadfast, is ready for counter charge. His turn, he failed the counter charge with the Razor Tusk, with the Razor, yeah, the shooting guys, spearback, sorry, on 6, but got the 2 other charges. This one was small and this one was automatic. Push a bit forward, and he plays the Raptor guy. I didn't cover the angle with those Incarnate, which was a mistake, and he's able to place it with only my Anointed able to charge him. So that was, I think, avoidable with a better placement of the Incarnate. I was a bit, yeah, not so concentrated here. In Magic Phase, he got heal on the skink. 5 dice Hereditary on my Overlord, which surprised me a bit. But I understand the fact that if he kills me now or breaks me, he can overrun with those guys, and that's his chance to make a breakthrough with 2 units here. So that's why he took this risk. Shooting, he killed another 5 in the Bastion unit, and close combat, I suffer only 1 wound, and I did a lot of wounds on those guys here on the left that I think failed the fear check. So I killed a lot of them. I think I lost by 1, but I passed the check. My turn 5, I charge against this little guy. Considering the fact that I have a champion in the front, he can only do 3 wounds to me. I will have a charge, so worst case I could lose by 2, and I prepare a counter charge of the Incarnate. I didn't see any better solution than that. Move those guys sideways to get closer to the deployment zone, and everything also moving sideways. In the magic phase, I'm going to get Gravecold, killing a total of 4 warriors, Rot Within and Hereditary, both dispel on the Troika Anointed. And close combat, yeah, I will manage to do 1 wound, he will manage to do 0, which is below. As you can see, we have very similar stats, so in most cases I should be winning by the charge. And also in most cases he shouldn't kill the champion, meaning... also here the Raptor, meaning I would be alive if I'm alive on 1 wound, then next turn he can only do 1 wound, so things like that could matter a lot for the upcoming turns. Unfortunately for him, he managed to do 0 wound, and I managed to do 1, which is a bit below average, and he passes the check on the 6 minimize reroll. Let's move on to his turn 5. Those guys start to move away. Yeah, he continues to push me, and here this time he makes the back charge on the Overlord, which might be just too much. In the magic phase, he got Stone Skin on the Spearback, he heals some skink, I dispel Hereditary on the Overlord, which matters for me due to my ability to do wounds, which is key. Shooting, he did nothing on the Bastion. Close combat, he passes all fear check. The Overlord dies due to the Raptors attack this time. So the Overlord dies. Okay, but I managed to kill the Raptor at the same time, so at least I take these points. And on the right, this time he managed to do 3 wounds, so he killed exactly the champion. And I managed to do only 1 wound, so I lose by 2 and I pass 7 rollable. So, a bit stressful. I countercharge with the Incarnate, but it was getting really late, like 1 in the morning on a Sunday evening, and I was just not caring with the placement of the Lugas, and basically by the charge I'm going to block those guys. There is no way they're going to be in deployment zone. So the only chance that I had was to charge those guys here, which give him half. I think it was like on the 8 he was off the board. So it's like 50% chance he's off the board, I take the flag and I win secondary, and 50% chance he's still on the board, he can rally and I take nothing, and he just made a small flee. I didn't redirect on those guys that are stubborn. I felt I would be stuck and countercharged by the Titano, which is a problem. So yeah, that was it, and here I chaffed those guys and chaffed that. And I turn around to buff, but it was not done well because I'm losing soft cover from the flank. So I should have just, I think, moved. The right play would have been moving out with the mage and the BSB, forming a new unit here. Not so likely to die from those shots, or moving in the Lugas is also an option, but they charge, yeah, that's why. So I don't know, but not the best option definitely for me. Magic Face. He dispelled the breast weapon on the Incarnate. I got Hereditary on the combat to make them hit on 3+. I kill him in close combat easily and kill some warriors with the shot of the Blunders. His turn, Titanopod makes a 10 swift side into the Incarnate, which is not so good for me. Those guys move around and are able to shoot me in the flank and will get half point here. He charged me. I realized afterwards I made a smart play by looking that way, because if he doesn't kill all of them with the 4, yeah, it's like 12 or 13 attack of Saurus, I would say. No, there are 2 each. So a bit more like 16. If he doesn't kill all, he would be forced to nudge and would be out of my deployment zone. And that would be a lost secondary for him. Rally those guys, pushes here to make 1 in the sky. So he has 2 units in deployment zone. I have 2 as well. Magic Face. He got... I dispelled Stone Skin. He got something else. And then... I roll with shooting, yeah, he's going to get half point, and I roll really well with my Incarnate. I managed to do 5 wounds, which I think is okay, but especially I did a good amount of ward save. He rolled a lot of impact, did a high amount of ward save, and in the end ended up, yeah, I lost by a bit, scrambled a bit more, but I didn't give away half point here. So it ended up being a 10-10 at the end. Not so much action. Honestly, was expected for me. No frontal engagement was logic. Secondary, I should have win it if I play better. A bit misplay at the end, so a bit disappointed by that. And yeah, like I said early on, right flank took advantage from his mistake, gave me control on the right flank. I didn't realize with the Overlord, I think that was another mistake. Charging the skink was definitely a trap. I didn't realize that with Druidism it was going to be so complicated to get through the skinks, and I would never get out of them. I force him a good amount of checks, but actually not that difficult checks. It's still a steadfast, and was just counting on luck. So I should have continued to move around and be annoying and just slow down like I did. Trying to get something and slow down the Elder, I think, would have been the main target here. Yeah, a couple of mistakes, turn 5 and 6, positioning and stuff, could have done way better. The fight between Anointed and Lord, like we saw, was definitely dicey. And yeah, 50% chance of winning this secondary on the last charge, and also the risk of the nudge if he would have fluffed his attack could have been very disappointing for him. List wise, I felt I was a bit isolated on the weak flank with my Overlord. Was just moving around, but if I engage, I was overwhelmed by the amount of threat. And overall, I have the feeling that he could have been more active with the Titanopod, because I don't have good counters to him. I felt that he would have, if he would have pushed towards my infantry, it's very complicated for me to deal with him. I need to do really good with the range damage, and then in close combat it can get dangerous. He can kill half a unit in 1 round and then the other half in the second round. So I felt he could have potentially be more threatening with the Titanopod that only saw combat on the 10 swift charge turn 6, which is not much. Guys, that's all for the battle report. I hope you liked it. Talk too soon on the channel will be exciting. I have a tournament coming up, so 3 battle report with Ogre Khan. So a bit of a change on the channel. It was a 4K tournament, so I thought it was a good opportunity to take something different. And I brought a very aggressive Ogre Khan army, so you will see exciting battle reports that are different from what I bring at the moment with the Infernal Dwarves. So I think a bit of change will be good. After that I will go back with Infernal Dwarves. There's another tournament also coming up, so plenty of battle report with real miniatures coming up, which is also something that I know a lot of you appreciate. Thanks a lot for watching, thanks a lot for following the channel, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.